most democratic moment, but Jack's timetable meant he had to move rapidly. Oddly, Jack's support also seemed to wobble. Jack sometimes criticized Mike's actions as heavy-handed, or made jokes about how slow Mike was to figure out the very company culture he was supposed to change. Once, Jack lost his temper and accused Mike of stepping on his own CEO toes. But an hour later, he caught up with Mike on the way to the dining room, threw his arm around his old friend's shoulders, and joined him for roast beef sandwiches. Things came to a head unexpectedly in June, in a senior manager's meeting with Jack. Mike had just been talking about a shift in the organization chart, a shift that would pull research out of its cluster with sales and marketing and make it a more prominent, standalone division. If the company intended to push for the greening of the concrete production business, there was a lot of new work to be done, Mike concluded. When he sat back to take questions, the room went quiet. Then Gus, who at 56 had been with the company for nearly 30 years and was the most seasoned manager in the room, stood up and pushed a piece of paper toward Jack. "That's my resignation, Jack, if you want it," Gus said. "Someone has to speak up here, and I guess it will be me." For the next 45 minutes, Gus and a few other unhappy veterans turned on Mike. They told Jack that Mike didn't fit in with the company, that his simplistic solutions failed to take into account the problems they faced. Gus said that people were afraid to voice their concerns to the man with the hatchet. Managers felt bullied by Mike, not led by Jack. They felt disparaged and marginalized in their own work. Beyond the managers, there was collateral damage to employees who were exhausted and mutinous. Mike turned, ashen-faced, to Jack for support, but Jack was watching Gus. "I've seen a lot, Jack," Gus said. "Whether I stay or leave, you might want to rethink this new leadership style." Gus paused and gave Mike a long look. "Before any more damage is done." When Jack finally spoke, it wasn't to Gus. He turned to Mike. "Are you sure," he asked in front of them all, "that you're getting as much professional satisfaction here as you'd like?" A badly shaken Mike was waiting for Jack at the end of the day. "I've been blocking for you," Mike said. "I've been doing your smackdowns, and the first time I need help, you humiliate me in front of everyone. You've used me, Griff, and betrayed me." Mike picked up the model of the curved airport roof from Jack's desk and turned it over and over in his hockey-scarred hands, as though to calm himself. In a lower voice, he said, "I left a lot to come here. I can't just walk away from this." "I brought you here to help you out, Mike," Jack replied. "I wanted to give you a piece of the bigger action. But I had no idea a smart guy like you could know so little about people and make so many mistakes. I'm shoveling up after you every time you talk to someone. But you swagger around as though this was all yours. You challenge even me. Don't push me too far. What I give, I can take away." Anatomy of a confrontation. Defining hard talks. Jack and Mike found themselves blindsided in a toxic conversation. It contained elements we all might find familiar. These conversations look and feel like bruising battles, with the power to do real damage. For Mike, the potential damage was easy to see. His job and his oldest friendship were on the line. For Jack, a new senior manager was jeopardizing everything his father and grandfather built. And even closer to home, Jack found himself under attack twice, first challenged publicly by Gus, and then challenged privately by Mike. Still worse, whichever way he turned, Jack stood to lose. It looked like either Mike would be out of the company, or Gus would. At the same time, beyond the verbal warfare,